show you how great I am.
G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. Everybody's favorite fighter right now, Errol Spence Jr., the new boogeyman of the division at 147. His rumored next opponent is going to be Collazo. It's not official yet, but that's the way it's looking. Now, there's a lot of people that don't want to see the fight. They don't want to see Errol Spence fight Collazo. People aren't giving Collazo a chance. Collazo is a solid fighter. He's been in with a lot of different guys. He's pulled off some upsets as well, and he's been robbed in some fights. Collazo is a quality fighter. He's a quality fighter. He's not special like Errol Spence, but he's a very quality and capable fighter. Now, this is the fight that nobody wants because Errol Spence is basically waiting around for the Sean Porters and the Keith Thurmans and the Danny Garcias of the world to step up and fight him. And I feel bad for Errol Spence because he's in a no-win situation. He's in a no-win situation. Keith Thurman, he approaches Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman says, well, I'm injured. I got to have at least 2 tune-up fights before I even think about getting in the ring with you. But all of a sudden, the WBC tells Keith Thurman you can get first crack at Sean Porter, and it looks like he's going to fight Sean Porter for his first fight fresh off an injury. I mean, what happened with the tune-ups? I guess he don't need tune-ups to fight Sean Porter, but he needs 2 of them to fight Errol Spence Jr. So that's some hypocrite type shit, but that's neither here nor there. Sean Porter, he got a free offer for a title shot against Errol Spence when Porter didn't have a WBC belt. Sean Porter didn't want to take the fight. Now that Sean Porter has a WBC belt, Sean Porter don't have to fight any mandatories. He can go right into a unification with Errol Spence, but he still doesn't want to fight. And then Danny Garcia is basically coming off of a loss against Sean Porter. So it would be nice to see Danny Garcia take an Errol Spence fight, but you want to see Danny Garcia have a little bit of momentum, maybe a win or 2 under his belt before he goes into a Errol Spence title fight. So this is what Errol Spence has to deal with. Then you look at his own rankings in his own division. Yordenis Ugas is ranked number 2. Jesse Vargas is ranked number 4. And Jesse Vargas just got a draw with Tomas Delorme. And the IBF doesn't have a number 1 ranked guy. So this is the stuff that Errol Spence has adopted, being the IBF champion of the world. And he's in a no-win situation because if he puts his career on pause and waits for these guys, then we're like, Errol Spence, you can't sit out too long. You're going to get rusty. You need to stay busy. So now he's considering a fight with a Collazo to stay busy and to stay sharp. But now we're going to say, oh, Collazo ain't good. He ain't good enough. He's a bum. This, that, and the third. You shouldn't be fighting guys like that. You should be fighting Sean Porter. You should be fighting Keith Thurman. The man is in a no-win situation. The only way Errol Spence is going to get out of this situation is unless he tries to go after the IBF title at 154 or start taking fights at 154. But even if he does that, then Keith Thurman and Sean Porter and Danny Garcia and other welterweights are going to say, oh, well, we don't know about Errol Spence. We don't know if he's fighting at 154 or 147. So with Errol Spence, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. All that man can do is go in the ring, whether it's with Luis Collazo or another guy, go in there and win. Like Errol Spence, he's looking too good. He's looking too dominant. On top of that, you hear the sparring stories about Adrian Broner and Floyd Mayweather and all of that, and he's been kind of a hood legend for those stories. But nobody has been able to show real flaws in Errol Spence's game. And we've seen this throughout boxing history before, where a guy looks so good that the top guys don't want to get in there with him until somebody shows that Errol Spence has a hole or two in their game that they can exploit. Now, as far as Errol Spence not being able to get fights and fighting guys that are C-level fighters, I mean, we've seen this before. We've seen this before. A lot of people don't want to bring it up, but Floyd Mayweather went through this. He had a big string of fights where he was fighting B- C-level guys when he was on top rank before he got his big break to fight a Oscar De La Hoya and Manny Pacquiao when he became Floyd Money Mayweather. This was pre-Al Heyman. This was when he was with Bob Arum in top rank. So we've seen this before in terms of opponents and things like that. All Errol Spence can do is keep himself busy, keep himself relevant in the boxing news, and look as good as possible inside of the ring against whoever he goes up against. I mean, I'm going to watch the fight if it's Luis Collazo. I have a lot of respect for Luis Collazo, and I think he will come in there to fight. But at the end of the day, Errol Spence is in a tough spot, but I'm not going to point at the fighter when he has a whole management team, has an advisor in Al Heyman, and Al Heyman can't even get him a fight with guys within his network, let alone somebody that's in Bob Arum's network like a Terrence Crawford or Golden Boy's network or Eddie Hearn's network. When you can't get a fight within your own network, those are problems. Like, we always criticize Bob Arum for having in-house fights. He creates in-house fights because he don't have no problem making them. You shouldn't have no problem making an in-house fight. With Al Heyman, he's having a problem making in-house fights against the top guys. And people that support Al Heyman, they may say, oh, well, Sean Porter just fought Danny Garcia. The WBC mandated that fight. They mandated that fight, but before that, Danny Garcia ain't want no part of Sean Porter. So Errol Spence is just in a really tight spot. I don't know how he's going to get out of it. I don't know if he's going to have to walk up on one of these dudes in the street and just smack the shit out of them to get them to come in the ring and fight. I don't know what he got to do. But I hope Errol Spence gets the opponents, because we're not saying that Errol Spence can beat all of them. I know I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I want to see the fights to see how good Errol Spence actually is. And it's funny because we always talk about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, but they're kind of at the same point in their career where you know that they're great, but you want to see them against the opponents so they have to display how great they actually are. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.